zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands. Guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Now they'll try the jet sweep here. Oh, good move. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Marcus Peters up to make the tackle.
But not a big gain with that play. But what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
2nd and 6. That's caught. It's Thomas. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a first down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball.
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara, his 11th touchdown of the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Lutz good on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. That time a 6-play drive, and the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
This is Breida. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done. That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Snead's got it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
All day, every day, any day.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. This will be caught by Brown. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. Again, Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. Well, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
Come on now, let's go.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Joejuan Williams. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber. Jackrabbit, jackrabbit.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the return across midfield into the 46-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time. And that's another great play to come away with the football.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Single, single.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The tight end, C.J. Uzomah, the intended receiver, and it's third down. And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Jackson from the shotgun, and he's got Snead. 60 catches for him now on the year, and this last one, a first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moved.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. On first down, here's Breida. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. David Onyemata there on the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuck. Before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Royce Freeman, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as the Ravens push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
All day, baby, let's go. Let's go.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10.
Get in the weight room.
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And some space here. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 39 yards there, a big one.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
Crunch time, defense.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He'll air it out deep for... Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Well, they had gone run the previous play. Nice little setup. This time they go play action. Defense bites a bit, and they hit for a big play in the end zone.
So they sold it really well, didn't they? Because of just what you described. They ran into the previous play, come back with the same action, and now they step back and throw it and get a big play for a touchdown. But what happens as a defensive back is your eyes have to go to the right place. You always hear Coach talk about, are your eyes in the right spot? But this time the eyes went to the play action. It froze their feet. They weren't moving, and he went on past them and caught the pass for a touchdown.
And the Ravens taking the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A good game there on 1st down. That run will get them 7 up to the 32-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Tira o pé, filha.
Exactly.
Tira o pé, filha.
And that will do it.
Deixa eu
For
falar.
the 3rd quarter of action. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th. first and 10. It's Jackson. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Jackson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10. And an alley to run. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
On second down, it's Freeman, and here he'll get it down to the 7. That's a gain of 4 here in the fourth quarter, with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run here with Freeman. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be second and goal now. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got it third and goal now as they look for that final touchdown to salt this one away. Here's Freeman, and he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Here we go. 90. Wolf. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Back to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. He's back to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You have to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's first and 10. They'll look to throw.
Ah, não,
And his throw is
animal.
going to be incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. That'll bring up second down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So give him the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal. They'll run it with Kamara. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. From back at the 4, here's second and goal. He'll look to throw.
Eita,
It's a
nós.
touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this
Eita,
game.
nós.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
Pode passar.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And no sweat, he puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. They are in the 4th in Buffalo. The Bills, they're just pouring it on in that one. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far. Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Jackson now, 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Now Jackson. Check down to Breida. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Freeman. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Breida. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
So it's up now to one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history, Justin Tucker. This from 51 yards for the win. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Viu o que eu fiz?
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Final whistle. whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
Bloqueei o chute dos caras que ele ganhou o jogo.
Some days to decide who's going to win the game.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now a first throw here in overtime. And that gonna be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Coming up on a 3rd and 9. Opening drive of overtime as they look to convert. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well. And a first down. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
I don't think you got it, sir.
2nd and 9 now. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And they're going with some extra beef up front. They've got to have this one in overtime. It's 3rd and 1. 2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied.
Ela fala que a mamãe mandou ali.
Agora.
They had a catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at 3rd down here. Now back to throw. He's got his man. It's Kendrick Bourne. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Não, amor, é o ressalto.
Mas é só daqui pra cá.
É um ressalto ali.
Como sei que bichinho é esse? Eu vou chamar de coruja. Parece um tigrinho, não?
He did not have a catch till that moment. Pretty good time for his first one, though, here in OT.
I would agree with that. And just think about how they had to cycle through all the play sheets, right? Tried to find ways to get a lot of people the football. In this case, as you said, he hadn't had a catch all game. Now they find him in a key moment. Really well done.
And some room to roam now. There he goes, left side.
Ganhei o jogo.
Touchdown, New Orleans.